Has anyone made you so angry you wanted to hurt back? So in my last video, I shared how people who piss us off are often just our own reflection and projection and not the real enemy. But in week 3 of my breathwork training, I went back to childhood to find my first memory of anger and what it still triggers me today. Then I used a simple breathwork technique to help heal that pattern so I can respond instead of react to what's happening in my life right now. So if you want to discover and heal the roots of the people and things that piss you off today, this video is for you. Hi, I'm Tony, talking about what's beyond the ordinary everyday life psychology so we can think differently about life's deeper meaning. So during week 3 of my 10 months breathwork facilitator training with 7 directions based on Michael Brown's The Presence Process, our daily practice was 15 minutes twice a day of conscious connected breathing through the nose with inhale and exhale joined together, no pauses in between. Quick safety note, please check the contraindications for conscious connected breathing in the description below. And for week 3, our intention was, I choose to respond. But during one session, an old childhood memory popped into my head. I was 11 years old. My brother and I had just moved to New Zealand, staying at my grandparents' house. And we each had a big jar of those super sour lemon candies, nuclear sour on the outside and sweet in the inside. And I've been saving mine for weeks, eating only one every couple of days, so weeks of delayed gratification. But one evening, when my grandparents were out, I reached for the candy jar I put on the bookshelf and froze. It was completely empty. Not 2 missing, not 5, all of them gone. So the first thought that came into my head was, who ate all my candies? I'm gonna kill him. Then I found my brother, who was 9 at the time, and asked him, did you eat them? He looked at me and said, yeah. And I must have snapped because I can't remember much after that, except for beating the crap out of him from all the rage bursting out of me. And during another breathwork practice, another and even earlier childhood memory popped up. So I think I was 10 or 11 years old in primary school in Taipei. 3 or 4 boys would regularly beat me up, like a fist punching into my stomach. But because I want to be a good boy and not the weak kid who gets beat up all the time, so I just swallowed it and not told any adults that I got beaten up. But over time, the hurt turned into anger, and the anger turned into hatred. And maybe 10 or 12 years after that, someone told me that one of those boys had died young. And my first reaction was happiness. Because I remember thinking that he deserved it. Justice has been served. And now, over 20 years later, doing week 3 presence process breathwork practice made me realize that the anger, reflection, and projections I noticed in my last video were not just about the people in front of me today. Those crooks and those peoples who keep showing up and screwing me over now are angry ghosts from 30 or 40 years ago that I never fully processed and integrated. But once I saw that, I realized I can stop automatically reacting to the people who pissed me off today, and instead I can choose to respond. So if I feel angry now, it's because I'm choosing to feel angry about what's happening right here, right now, not because of the old hurts or the ghost from 30 or 40 years ago. So here's what week 3 of the presence process showed me about the roots of my anger, the one I talked about in my last week's video on reflection and projections. Click here to check it out. Because I realized I wasn't angry about the crooks I met today, underneath was a need for revenge. Old grudges from moments that felt unfair. So whenever I sense injustice, my brain starts building a courtroom. I'm the prosecutor and they're the defendants, and I'm ready writing punishments. But week 3 of the presence process book told me those people are simply messengers and not the message. The message is the old injustice still living in my body. So when I practiced week 3 conscious connected breathing and traced the resonance of that feeling and asked, when do I feel this exact hunger for payback? And before that, and before that. And that's how I found the empty candy jar. That's how I found the bullies punching me in the stomach. The revenge stories I run today is powered by unmet protection back then. My unconscious mind still thinks it must settle unfinished court cases to be safe. Cases that never felt properly judged. So once I recognized the revenge emotion I was still carrying from those two unresolved injustices, I made a conscious decision to forgive my younger brother and the school bullies in my childhood. Not because what happened was okay, but because I learned the hard way that revenge is just temporary relief reaction and not the real solution. And in the past, whenever I acted in revenge, karma always hits me back. So today, I choose to respond, and I choose to forgive my brother and those school bullies from my childhood. But will I still get triggered by the crooks I meet today and tomorrow? I think yes. But when I feel the anger, I can separate the present from the past. I can choose to respond and choose to be angry at this person's wrongdoing in this moment and not the wrongdoing from 30 or 40 years ago. And I can name the wrongdoing they did today, set a clean boundary, choose to forgive, and move on. So here's how you can learn to choose to respond instead of reacting automatically. First, dismiss the messenger and feel the message. When someone pisses you off, don't make it about them. Instead, ask, how is this making my body feel right now? Like hot face, tight chest, knots in the gut? Second, trace the feeling back to as long as you can remember. Ask, when do I feel this exact way? And before that, and before that. Just following the same feeling back to time until it leads you back to where the feeling first got stuck. And finally, pause action and then respond from intent and choice. So when you do act, check your intention. Am I acting this automatically just to make the feeling go away? Or because I'm choosing to do this intentionally? So before practicing breathwork on the intention, I choose to respond. I genuinely believe I was angry because crooks keep showing up and there's no justice. I was fed up and every wrong felt like another case for the courtroom in my head. Prosecutions, punishments, and still no peace. But after 1 week breathing on, I choose to respond. I started thinking differently. Maybe the reason I'm so angry at people today is because of those who hurt me before and those injustices I never resolved. Maybe I still want revenge and need justice to be carried out. But maybe the only justice I can deliver is my own forgiveness, because no real punishment, big or small, will heal me if I don't forgive first. And forgiveness isn't saying what they did is okay. It's saying, I will be okay today, in spite of what they did wrong. So today, I choose to forgive, and I choose to move on. So if you had a breathwork practice, or have practice choosing to respond instead of reacting, please share your story in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend. It really helps me make more videos like this. So thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next one.